Welcome to today's webinar on everything you need to know about disaster recovery. My name is Haley Reynolds. I'm the marketing specialist, and I'm here with Darren Vaspol, the IT support analyst. KRS IT Consulting is a consulting firm gaining a positive reputation in services and support for the past 6 years. KRS IT Consulting is here to make your life easier in managing your computer systems, allowing you to spend your time growing your business and to avoid dealing with problems in your system. KRS IT Consulting services and industries are as following: services, cloud computing, disaster recovery, help desk and online services, managed IT services, network audit, network security, remote backup services, remote monitoring management, security camera systems, system migrations, and website development. Industries for architects, automobiles, construction, CPAs, financial advisors, law firms, local governments and municipalities, medical, and police departments.
Today's objectives: what is disaster recovery, where to start, how to succeed, how to test your backups, and it could happen to you. What is disaster recovery? Disaster recovery is the area of security planning that deals with protecting an organization from the effects of significant negative events. Significant negative events can include anything that puts an organization's operations at risk: crippling cyber attacks and equipment failures, hurricanes, earthquakes, and other natural disasters. In information technology, disaster recovery steps may include restoring servers with backups, reestablishing private branch exchanges, or provisioning local area networks to meet immediate business needs. A disaster recovery plan limits the disruption to an organization in the wake of a disaster. Just as a disaster is an event that makes the continuation of normal functions impossible, a disaster recovery plan consists of actions intended to minimize the negative effects of a disaster and allow the organization to maintain or quickly resume mission-critical functions. Where to start? If you don't have a fully detailed IT disaster recovery plan right now, then implement a short-term plan as you develop your long-term safety net. Detailed planning is a great way to start. What you'll need in your plan is as follows: a list of people on the emergency response team, procedures for declaring a disaster, procedures for invoking the disaster recovery plan, emergency communications, how to carry out basic recovery plans, viable processing center alternatives, how to enact preventive measures, a documented interim disaster recovery plan, wallet-sized emergency contact lists, training methods for emergency response team members. Use a business impact analysis to help determine which processes and systems warrant the expense and effort related to developing your IT disaster recovery plan. A business impact analysis is a detailed inventory of the primary processes, systems, assets, people, and suppliers that are associated with an organization's principal business activities. Number 1. Establish the project team, scope, and budget. Name a project manager. 2. Get executive support. 3. Inventory your key business elements, which include business processes, information systems, applications, assets, personnel, and suppliers. Develop intake forms you can use to gather consistent information. Interview key experts throughout the business and get information from inventories. Number 4. Tabulate the results in a spreadsheet or a document. 5. For each business process, determine the maximum tolerable downtime, or MTD. MTD is the longest time the process can remain disabled before it threatens the organization's survival. Number 6. For each business process, determine a reasonable recovery time objective, or RTO, and recovery point objective, RPO. Sort the list of business processes into MTD or RTO order. The processes with the shortest MTD or RTO are the most critical business processes. Get an agreement from your senior management. Number 8, perform a risk analysis on each critical process to identify any vulnerabilities that exist, along with the steps to mitigate those vulnerabilities. How to succeed. While planning puts things into perspective, implementation and execution are everything. As you prepare to develop and document the IT disaster recovery plans for the components that support critical business processes, you should know how to structure it and how to manage the contents of the plan. Successful disaster recovery plans should contain disaster declaration procedures, emergency contact lists, emergency leadership and role selection, damage assessment procedures, system recovery and restart procedures, and procedures on how to transition to normal operations. Testing your plan. Testing is a natural part of the life cycle for many technology development efforts. Disasters don't occur very often, so you seldom can clearly tell if those disaster recovery plans will actually work. And given the nature of disasters, if your disaster recovery plan fails, the organization may not survive the disaster. You can do the paper test. Individuals or annotate recovery plans. The walkthrough test, in which groups walk through plans to identify issues and changes. You can simulate plan, in which groups go through a simulated disaster to identify whether emergency response plans are adequate. The parallel test, which is recovery systems are built or set up and tested to see if they can perform actual business transactions to support key processes. Primary systems still carry the full production workload. The cutover test. Recovery systems are built or set up to assume the full production workload. You can disconnect primary systems at that point. It could happen to you. While natural disasters, power outages, and infrastructure failures can threaten your availability from a technology standpoint, they can also put the brakes on your company's productivity. Simply put, if you can't drive into the office, you can't work from the office. If the office location is compromised due to flooding, blizzards, pandemics, or other disasters, you can either work remotely or you don't work at all. Senior Product Marketing Manager of 8x8, a company that we selected as an example, is a hosted voice-over-IP business communication services firm. Mike Reinhardt, the Senior Product Marketing Manager, has seen a number of businesses use communication technology to keep production continuous during IT disasters. Here are some quotes. Anyone in the Mid-Atlantic or Northeastern United States has become acquainted with the impact, both at the office and at home, of natural disasters, care of 2012 Superstorm Sandy. While helping businesses get back on their feet during the disaster, we had to ensure our own business continuity. A big part of that was redundancy and failover. Because 8x8 had redundant servers across the country that were backed up, 8x8 subscribers did not generally experience the long outages that those who had local service did. Even if weather isn't disastrous, its effects can be. Most of us can relate to the experience of going into work when road conditions aren't ideal, and hoping our traction control and winter tires will save us from a calamity. This can be especially true in places experiencing novel weather conditions. For example, icy roads in Texas. Says Jonathan Rangel, support engineer at Datascan LP, one of 8x8's clients, last winter we had ice here in Texas, and the roads were a mess. There was no way we could make it to the office during that time. That is a good example. Cloud-based communication services can keep people informed and productive without risking life and limb. Though Texas is not known for dealing with snow and icy conditions as regularly as, say, Minnesota or New York, Datascan LP was able to keep production moving and personnel connected via voice-over-IP communication. Cloud-based communication can also help make team members aware of changes in hours and plans whenever there's an outage, keeping your business continuous and your staff safe and productive. It's better safe than sorry. Like 8x8 Incorporated, it's better to plan for disasters such as Hurricane Sandy so your business does not experience the negative effects of disasters. To ensure the safety and security of your business, be sure to contact KRS Consulting so we can protect that business. Thank you for listening. Here are a few links that you can go to, and I hope you read up on this because it is very important for your business. Thank you. Have a nice day.